Good morning. Today is Wednesday, June 23rd, 2021. The premise of this week's Parsha, the Parsha Balak, is so strange and it is so illuminating about human nature. So Balak was the king of a small nation on the eastern bank of the Jordan River. The Jewish people are approaching from the east, going westward in order to enter the land of Israel by crossing the Jordan River around the area of Yericho, Jericho, kind of in the middle. So they've got to pass through these nations on the eastern bank of the Jordan River in order to get into Israel. Balak was mortally afraid of the approach of the Jewish people. He thought that they were going to overwhelm his nation and conquer his nation. Of course, he had no reason for that fear. The Jewish people did not want him or his country. God had specifically said that the Jewish people were not to start up or take any part of Balak's country. So they had no intention of doing so. I mentioned before, this is such a common thing that we become sometimes hysterical with fear over something that is not even a threat at all. And we run away with it. I heard a story yesterday from Rabbi Biederman. He said there was a man and he wanted to borrow money from his friend. He needed to borrow $1,000. So he wasn't sure what he was going to do, not do, and he decided, yes, I'm going to go to my friend's house and I'm going to ask him to borrow $1,000. While he's walking, he starts to think to himself, well, do I really have a good enough reason why I need the $1,000? Maybe my friend is going to say no. Maybe he's going to refuse. And he keeps thinking about what his friend is going to say. And he starts to get upset. Well, why should he refuse? I'm his friend. I have a good reason for it. And he works himself up and he reaches the door of his friend. He knocks on the door and he says, forget it. I don't need you anyway. And his friend never figured out why he had actually knocked on his door. So, we do this all the time. And Balak became hysterical over a threat that was completely not a threat. So, uniquely, I pointed this out before, Balak's response is prayer. And I said before, I wish that we had the confidence in prayer that Balak has. So he turns to Bilam, who is a prophet, and he says as follows, V'ata l'chana arali es ha'mazeh. Bilam, I want you to now go and curse this nation, the Jewish people. Ki yadati, because I know, Balak says, I know. Eis asher tevarech mevarach, whoever you bless will be blessed. Va'asher ta'ar, you are, and whoever you curse will be cursed. Rabbi Yisrael Meir Lau asks the following question, and he writes that he did not find this question addressed by any commentator up until he addressed it. Here's the question. Why does Balak hire Bilam to curse the Jewish people? If Bilam could do both, right? Because remember, he says, I know that whoever you bless will be blessed and whoever you curse will be cursed. If he could have chosen either, why doesn't he ask Bilam to bless him? Why doesn't he ask Bilam to give a mishaberach to his country, that they should be strong, that they should be successful, that they should repel any invaders who are trying to conquer them? The answer that Rabbi Lau gives is both a historical answer and it's a profound insight into understanding people, especially ourselves. Some people only want to curse, even if they could bless. even if it would really help themselves more by blessing, they can only curse. The history of the Jewish people is filled with individuals and nations that have only been able to curse us, even when it is illogical for them to do so, even when it is without any basis, even when there are no Jews around them, and even when it is against their own self-interest. People are the same way in every area of life. They could bless or curse. They could build or destroy. They could find a strength or find a weakness. They could fix or complain. Balak could curse or bless. Balak chose to curse. Every one of us needs to decide at all times if we're going to choose to emulate Balak in this characteristic, or if we will choose the path of blessing instead. My friends, I want to wish you a great and blessed day. And I look forward to seeing all of you soon in person.